Chosen one, pause for a moment. What you are hearing right now is not random, and you did not arrive here by coincidence. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who has been carrying something sacred and feeling the quiet tension of protection rising inside. If you have felt an urge to speak, less share, less explain, less. Lately, this word is about to make everything clear. Chosen one, you did not stumble upon this message by chance. Heaven arranged this divine appointment because there is something critical you must understand right now, at this exact point in your journey. What I am about to share is not meant to excite you. It is meant to protect everything God has been forming within you. Listen carefully. The enemy has been trying to steal what has not even been born yet, and he has been doing it through something you thought was harmless, your words. I see you. You've been carrying something holy, something God whispered to you in quiet moments in midnight hours when it was just you and Him. A vision, a promise, a calling so weighty that when it first settled in your spirit, it took your breath away. And in the joy of finally understanding your purpose, you did what felt natural. You shared it. You described what God showed you. You expected celebration, understanding, agreement. But something shifted. The moment those sacred things entered certain spaces, the atmosphere changed. You saw it in their eyes, didn't you? A flicker you couldn't fully name. Some smiled, but their spirit did not. Some encouraged you with their words while quietly questioning you in their hearts. Others grew distant, pulling back in ways that confused you because you believed sharing your blessing would bring closeness. And the deepest wound came from those who subtly began to speak doubt over what God had clearly spoken life into. That uneasiness you've been feeling, that quiet discomfort about how much you've revealed, is not paranoia. It is discernment awakening. It is spiritual maturity being activated. Heaven has been whispering the same instruction to you again and again, and today that whisper becomes a clear directive. Stop talking and start protecting. Guard what is sacred. Let this truth anchor itself in Scripture. When Mary received the most profound announcement any human could receive, that she would carry the Messiah, she did not run announcing her assignment. Scripture tells us she treasured these things and pondered them in her heart. She held the impossible in silence. She allowed it to incubate in the secret place before the world ever saw it. This is not secrecy rooted in fear or shame. This is stewardship rooted in wisdom. Gold is refined in fire where no one sees the process. Seeds germinate in darkness before they break through soil. A child grows hidden in the womb before it breathes open air. Everything ordained by heaven is formed privately before it is revealed publicly. And you chosen one are in that sacred incubation season right now. Yet you have been exposing what should still be covered, explaining what should still be expanding, defending what should still be deepening. Each time you invited interference into a process meant to remain between you and God. Your dreams are not ideas. Your visions are not imagination. Your calling is not planning. These are divine assignments, heaven-sent blueprints carrying God's fingerprints. They are sacred, and sacred things require sacred handling. Consider Joseph. His dreams were true. They were accurate previews of his destiny. But when he shared them prematurely with hearts that were not ready, envy was activated. Betrayal followed. A pit, slavery, false accusation, prison. God's purpose was never cancelled, but the path became harder than necessary. The revelation was meant for preparation, not public explanation. Hear this clearly. Your dreams are real. Your visions are valid. Your calling is confirmed. But not everyone is meant to hold the full picture of what God is doing with you right now. Not because they are bad, but because they are not positioned to steward the weight of what you carry. When sacred things are placed in unprepared hands, even good people can become instruments of delay. That withdrawal you've been feeling is not rejection. It is maturity. You have not become cold. You have become wise. You have not pushed people away. You have learned to protect purpose. There is a season for sharing and a season for sacred silence. And right now, heaven is saying, be still, be hidden. Let me finish what I started before the world sees it. Even Jesus understood this. After miracles, he often said, tell no one. Not because revelation was wrong, but because timing mattered. Premature exposure invites interference, and if the Son of God operated with such discernment, how much more should you? Silence is not empty. Silence is where clarity sharpens, where discernment deepens, where intimacy grows. In noise, you hear opinions. In silence, you hear instruction. Daniel understood this. He carried visions that shaped kingdoms, yet he kept them till the appointed time. Not everyone who asks deserves access. Not everyone who is curious is aligned. Some inquire not to celebrate, but to measure, compete, or manage their fear of your elevation. This is wisdom, not suspicion. You are learning the difference between inner circle and audience. The inner circle gets the process, the audience gets the testimony, and God is shrinking who knows the details because he is about to expand. Who sees the results? He is sealing your mouth because he is preparing a crown. Every check in your spirit saying, not yet is not fear, it is favor. God is protecting what he is perfecting, and I know this feels unnatural for you. You process out loud, you connect through sharing, but this inward shift is not natural, it is supernatural. When you stop oversharing, doubt loses access. When you stop explaining, confusion loses influence. When you stop defending, energy returns to fulfillment. When you stop seeking validation, destiny regains authority. Your silence becomes strength. Your privacy becomes advantage. The enemy's strategy has always been to make you speak too soon so he can twist your words into weapons. But when you learn to move without commentary, he has nothing to work with. This is spiritual warfare, and it begins with speech. Some of you can trace current resistance back to conversations you had. And this realization is not meant to shame you, but to awaken you. Because what God is doing next requires a deeper level of stewardship, and that is where we are going in the next part. And this is where everything from the first part becomes painfully clear. You didn't imagine it. You noticed the pattern for a reason. You shared a business idea with someone who smiled, nodded, and then quietly rushed to build their own version. You spoke about a relationship God was restoring, and suddenly doubt was planted where hope had just begun to grow. You testified about a financial breakthrough, and unexpected expenses appeared out of nowhere. You declared the healing God confirmed, and the symptoms intensified. That was not coincidence. That was sacred information entering contaminated environments. But here is the turning point. The moment you begin protecting what is holy, the moment you steward your words with wisdom, the moment you embrace this season of sacred silence, acceleration begins. What was stuck starts to move. What was delayed begins to manifest. What was confused starts to clarify. Why? Because the process can finally continue without interference. The seed can germinate without being dug up every day for inspection. The promise can develop without being talked to death. God is saying to you now, stop reporting and start resting. Stop announcing and start advancing. Stop explaining and start experiencing. What he is doing in you is too profound, too precise, too divinely ordered to be placed on trial in the court of public opinion. It must remain between you and him until the appointed time. And when that time comes, you will not need to speak. The evidence will speak. The fruit will testify. The results will silence every question. You will not need to defend yourself because God will be your defense. You will not need to explain yourself because the blessing will be self-evident. You will not need to convince anyone because the glory will be undeniable. But between now and then, cooperation is required. Trust is required. Silence is required. Some of you are standing on the edge of doors you have prayed about for years. And before you step through them, God is testing you with one simple question. Can you possess the promise without posting about it? Can you walk in the blessing without broadcasting it? Can you experience breakthrough without narrating every detail? This is the test of stewardship. Everything God gives you in private is preparation for what He will do through you in public. But if you make public what was meant to remain private, you forfeit the authority attached to the public assignment. The platform is being built, but character is being formed first. The stage is being prepared, but intimacy is being established first. The audience is coming, but the heart must be ready. This season of silence is not removing you from destiny. It is anchoring you in it. It is not limiting your influence. It is protecting it from dilution. Think of fine wine. The best wines are aged in darkness, in sealed barrels, untouched, unseen, unheard of. If you open the barrel too soon, you ruin the process. What could have become vintage turns into vinegar. You are that wine right now. Every time you are tempted to open yourself too early to let others taste what was not ready, you risked damaging what God was maturing. But that season is ending. From now on, you understand that what is processed in private is too valuable to be paraded prematurely. Look back over the last months. Haven't you noticed the pattern? Every time you shared something significant, resistance followed. Conflict arose. Momentum slowed. Confusion entered the exact area you exposed. The business opportunity collapsed. The relationship faced sudden strain. The ministry idea lost energy. The blessing stalled. Your words created premature visibility, and premature visibility activated opposition before the promise was strong enough to stand. It was like announcing the route of valuable cargo before it reached its destination. But God is merciful. He is resetting the timeline. He is restoring what was delayed. He is renewing what was disrupted. And this time, He says, do it differently. Do it quietly. Let me work while you rest. This is maturity. Young faith speaks everything. Mature faith discerns what to seal. Young believers need validation. Mature believers walk in quiet confidence. So you are transitioning from eager to wise, from expressive to discerning, from revealing to stewarding. The proof of your growth is the silence you are embracing. Some will misunderstand you. Some will think you are secretive. Others will assume pride or distance. Let them think what they think. Your assignment is not to manage perception. Your assignment is to protect process. And as you walk in this new level of discretion, something beautiful happens. The weight lifts, peace settles, intimacy deepens. You realize you owe no one access to your private conversations with God. And in this sacred silence, acceleration begins. Doors open more easily. Provision flows more freely. Alignment becomes natural. Because what God does in secret carries far greater power than what we force in public. Jesus said it clearly, what is done in secret is rewarded openly. If you feel hidden right now, you are not forgotten. You are incubating. You are being refined where no one can interfere, but everyone will eventually witness the results. Do not fight the hiddenness. Do not rush emergence. Do not break the shell before its time. There is a divine order to transformation, and when the moment comes, you will know. Until then, guard it, hold it close. Keep it holy. Let your calling take root in hidden soil, not shallow applause. This is how history makers are formed. Not in the spotlight, but in the secret place. Heaven is teaching you when not to speak, so it can trust you when it is time to be heard. The microphone is coming, but first silence. Your assignment now is simple practice, sacred silence. Share testimonies of what God has done, not previews of what He is preparing. Share principles, not plans. Guard your dreams, protect your visions, shield your calling, and watch what happens. Peace increases, opposition decreases, provision appears, doors open, the evidence is coming, the breakthrough is near, and it is arriving through discretion, through wisdom, through sacred stewardship. Stand tall in your silence, walk confidently in mystery, rest peacefully in privacy. Your silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. And when you finally speak, the world will listen. Not because you demanded attention, but because heaven commanded respect. The best is coming, chosen one, and it is coming through the sacred power of silence.